Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Throwing on first down. Katz. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
At the 30-yard line.
The throw over the middle taken in.
That's good for a Lion.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
To throw on 3rd down. Katz. Ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
1st and 10.
So excellent starting position here for the Vikings. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what a game he is coming off of.
Oh, unbelievable.
Absolutely. And you know how much I love the history of the game. He broke a record held by the Dutchman,
Norm Van Brocklin,
right? You got to go all the way back to 1951, and he threw for 554 yards in that game. And later, won a championship as a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles in 1960.
And now that record has been set anew. Complete. Jefferson the target. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
It's a
good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the Lions' 26-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Operating from the gun, Kane. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
To number 15.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And the Vikings' first down.
Back to throw. Kane, flush to his right. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
Touchdown.
From 17 yards out. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time.
the kicker on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count.
The score, Vikings
extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
A gain of 4. It's now
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, Katz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
By Tack McKinley.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, how about that reaction there from a defensive end? Able to recognize the screen pass trying to happen, broke off his pass rush, and then get back to tackle the running back. That's a very athletic and intelligent play. Reminds me of you working out and seeing that the treadmill's open and getting there before anyone else.
See, I know you're just patronizing me right now. Everybody knows at home that that is nothing but a shot at me, and I'll take it, absorb it, and we'll move on. On 1st and 10, Kane almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Kane into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Grant Delpit. And a return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That catch good for only a couple. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Operating from the gun. Katz. Short throw underneath to Hurst. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Kane. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a first down on a gain of 10. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
First down, Kane. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Kane firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll look to throw again. Smith catches left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one, and another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Kane. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
Touchdown, Minnesota.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
And he puts it through. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
26-yard line.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8. at the 29-yard line.
From the gun, Katz. That ball complete to Isabella.
Katz's pass.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Back to throw. Katz. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he's going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
At the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
Detroit Lions, first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Again, he'll drop the throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Josh Allen just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And they get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and 1.
It's a first down following a gain of 3.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Now it's Swift. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
The tackle by...
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
That's good for the Lions.
I know at times today's NFL sure feels like everything's about the guy throwing the football. But when you got a guy who can run it and move it and gain this type of yardage, he'll take him each and every time.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Swift. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game.
The kicker on.
Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And able to get this out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Looking to throw on second down. Kane, he'll rifle this one, and that's caught inside the 35. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory.
Number 15.
It's a big one there for the Vikings. 54 yards.
Down Minnesota.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw. Kane. That's complete right around the 8. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
To throw on second down. Kane escaping the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Katz will try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Kane. Able to connect with Mims.
Kane's pass.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
At the 26-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
And goal at the 4-yard line.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw again. Rolling to his right. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 4 yards out. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. He's been a frequent target, and with catches like that, one-handed in the end zone, I'd keep going his way.
And he's doing it every which way, isn't he? 2 hands, and in this case, we just saw it with 1 hand. Almost reminds me of a great return of service guy in tennis. No matter how you whack it at him, it comes back at you. In this case, he just envelops it and brings it in.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game. So due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Washington, and now they lead this ball game as well. Set to go here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Kane, throw left side, complete. It's Smith. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Eluding the pressure right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
It's now 4th down.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
We're all still valiantly searching for the so-called book, right, that tells us what to do in every situation. Everyone kind of knows what it says, but it's never really been written down anywhere. He violated every code on that one, didn't he? Deciding to go for it right there.
Oh, yeah, your side of the field, this stage of the game, you're supposed to pump the football. He said, who cares? I'm going to light the book on fire.
Yeah, analytics, everyone else, be warned, he's coming for you.
7 yards.
7 yards, the pick up there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so
I
either.
think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 54 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Here's a first down throw that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5 at the 38-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Katz. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 38.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Back to throw. Katz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On second down now, Swift. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up.
The line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It's now third down and long.
From the gun, Katz. He's going to look deep for more. Bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Throwing on first down. Kane flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conlon. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Operating from the gun. Katz. Sideline throw, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Katz. Got it complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want to do, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. That's exactly what he got done there.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Detroit Lions, first down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
They run out of the gun with Swift. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Looking to throw. Katz. It's for the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
And he's able to put it through. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
On 1st and 10, Kane. He's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
24-yard gain on the play. 1st down, Vikings. That's the end of the third quarter.
And that is going to do it. third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it. But think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Now this will make it into the end zone, and this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. On first down, Katz. The killer here, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
At the 39-yard line.
Back to throw. Katz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Tackled back at the 30.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The Lions on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Katz. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because You have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That good for 19 and a first down.
And that's a good run, and I know he went out of bounds, so we could nitpick a little bit here and get on him and say, hey, make sure you stay in bounds, keep the clock running. But this stage of the game, Brandon, that's not really uppermost in his mind. He just wants to take care of the football and gain yardage.
Yeah, and they have a little bit of comfort there with it not just being a one-score game, so not too nitpicky. Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Working with a 2nd and 4. They run. Cook. Cook struck. The ball's out.
Dalvin Cook, the ball carrier. Fumble on the play. Recovered by the offense.
With McFarland. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, if this defense has any hopes of getting back into this game, they've got to start right here and keep these guys out of the end zone. That's a good step 1 on that play.
Again, McFarland. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Anthony McFarland, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
The score, Vikings 50. Lions 21.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes that's a way of catching up with you.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Throwing on 1st down. Katz. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 of officially.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
On 1st and 10, Katz. This one caught by Isabella. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
We just saw an example of what we talk about all the time when we meet with coaches. They want that hidden yardage to come to the front when they throw the football. Throw it, catch it, and then pick up more yardage after the catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Katz over the middle. That's hauled in by Isabella. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again. Katz. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. Comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. That one looks like he'll throw here. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way.
That's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Denzel Mims, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro with their jersey in the ball. That's about all.
The kicker on for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. On first down, Katz. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Katz. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Complete in the end zone. Brings up 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.
28.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears.